Hey, Keith here. Let's talk about something that nobody wants to talk about. Taking a crap in the woods. You know it's inevitable. If you spend time in the woods, you're eventually going to have to take a dump. So what do? You take 10, 15 minutes walking around trying to find a log. You lean up against a tree. Or if your knees will do it, you can just squat. Well, there's a piece of equipment that has been shown to me that I think is great. It's basically a 9-foot piece of webbing with loops sewn on each end that you carabiner yourself in around a tree, and you squat back and you go to the bathroom. It reminds me of a telephone repairman, you know, the lineman that's on the side of the telephone pole and he's got the strap and he's all leaned back. Hey, same concept. It works great. I made one. I filmed it so you could see how easy it was to do, and I'm going to share that with you now. So, here you go. The crab strap. Okay, here's what you start with. This is a ratchet strap. It's a 10-foot ratchet strap, about 500-pound capacity. And we're going to cut that down, and when we're done, we're going to have a crab strap that will be approximately 8.5 feet long. Hey, this is the thread that we're going to be using. It's an extra strong upholstery thread. It's made out of nylon. I have no clue what the tensile strength on it is. However, I do know you cannot break it by pulling on it. It'll cut into your fingers first. So that's what we use. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to cut to get the most length out of this strap. Just disregard that. Now what we'll need to do is kind of cauterize, basically burn this webbing here, melt it so that it won't fray. Okay, so what you do is you just touch up the ends here. And what that'll do is that'll keep it from fraying. Okay, this is not an upholstery machine, like I said, so it's going to be hard to do, but this is what we want to try to achieve. Is that right there. The crisscross pattern, which goes back and forth a couple of times on the top and the bottom. This should produce the most strength. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make a 3-inch loop. And we'll use about 1 inch of that to do that X-shaped threading, that sewing that we saw. And then that'll give us an approximate 2-inch loop, which is all we're going to need because all we're doing is hooking a carabiner thread. I like to stick a pin in it to hold it in place until I get that first thread sewn. Seems to make it a little easier. This really isn't rocket science. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can hand stitch this. It's not hard to do. You just have to get a good heavy needle. But we're going to see if we can do it on the machine versus hand stitching. And if it works, that'll be great. If it doesn't, I'll hand stitch it. No big deal. Well, the Kenmore sewing machine that was my grandmother's is just not heavy enough to do the webbing. It works fine on lightweight material, ripstop nylon, stuff like that. However, big thick webbing like this, it won't go through and make a good tight stitch. So, as I alluded to earlier, you have to hand stitch it. And that's what I did. Let me show you. Instead of the X, I just came across with another straight piece. So I loop stitched all along the edges on both sides and then went back and forth a couple of times on each of those. Should make for a very, very strong stitch. And like I said, loop doesn't have to be very big. All we're doing is putting a carabiner through there. So, there you have it. That's the sewing part of it. Well, really, what good would a how to make something video be if you didn't have a demonstration? So here we go. Let's demonstrate the crap strap. You saw how it was made. Now let's see how to use it. Of course, you're going to dig your cat hole first. You simply wrap it around the tree. Then you take a roll of toilet paper. Slip it onto the strap. Carabiner yourself in. Now the rest is personal preference. How high you want it on the tree, how low. It does seem to work best when you put the strap about right below where your belt would be. There you have it. It's going to work great with this new knee. I won't have to put a tremendous amount of pressure on it anymore, or spend 15 minutes trying to find a nice log. So, anyway, there you have it. An ingenious idea, very, very easy to make, and it works great. All you got to have is a tree. The crap strap. Great idea. And one more thing. If you make it out of pink camo instead of the green camo like I did, you don't have to call it a crap strap. If you make it out of the pink camo, then you could say, hey, it's for the ladies out there, and you could call it the poop loop. Why not? They gotta go too.